warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, welcome back with me in my YouTube channel. My name is Rizki Nurul Arsy and I'm from Islamic State of UIN Jakarta. So today I'm going to give you a review textbook which the title is Function of English, written by Leo Jones. Before I talk about the review of this book, I would like to give you the information that you should know about this book a little bit. The title of this textbook is Function of English, like I said before, and the author is Leo Jones, and published on 1981 by Cambridge University Press. And this book has 201 pages and the genre is instruction. So this book has 15 chapters that I will explain one by one about this chapter. Okay, the first chapter is talking about yourself, starting a conversation and making a date. If you learner English language, you should practice to talk about yourself and starting conversation and making a date. Like this in the chapter 1. This chapter will talking about the way to start the English class and the steps that the student should do. And the chapter 1 is about asking for information, like question techniques and answering techniques and getting more information. Okay, in the English language, you should know about how to ask someone, okay, how to answer someone, and getting more information from media and television and text. And the chapter will talking about how the students ask a question and the things that they should do to answer it as well. And in the chapter 3 is about getting people to do things like requesting, attracting attention, and agreeing and refusing. Okay, this chapter will talking about how students make a request, attracting people and agreeing or refusing some requests. And in the chapter 4, it's talking about past event. I know that you have already learned about this one, past, simple past like it, and simple past, simple continuous past, perfect past perfect. Okay, this chapter 4 talking about past events like remembering, describing experience in the past, and imagining what if. This chapter will talking about how to make students telling their past experience and tell them what if they see other decisions that able to change their past experience. In the chapter 5, it talk about the future, like stating intention, discussing probability, considering what if. This chapter will talking about how students stating their intention, talking about that what will happen and their what if the future isn't the same like they thought. And in the chapter 7, it talks about offering to do something, asking permission and giving reasons. If you learn about English language, that you should do in English language, that you should know about how to how to offer your help to someone, how to ask permission to someone, and how to give reasons to someone. Because This chapter will talking about how students offering things to do to other people, or to give or refuse permission and give them the reasons. Okay, and the chapter 8, it talks about giving opinions, agreeing and disagreeing, and giving reasons. This chapter will talking about how students giving their opinion, agree and disagree with other people's opinion, and make people explain their point of view. And let's continue to the chapter 9. In the chapter 9, it talks about describing things, instructing people how to do things, and checking understanding. This chapter will talking about how students describing, discussing similarities and differences, and explain the preference. And next, in the chapter 11, it talks about making suggestions and giving advice, expressing enthusiasm, and persuading. This chapter will talking about the students' ability to help other people by giving advice and persuade people to accept their advice or suggestions. In the chapter 12, it has complaining, apologizing, forgiving, and expressing disappointment. You know, in English language, it should it should know you should know about this one, because this chapter will talking about how students show their dissatisfied politely, apologize for what they've done wrong. If you do wrong, you should apologize politely, apologize right, okay, and forgive other people and express your disappointment maybe. And chapter 13, it talks about describing places, describing people. This chapter will talking about how students describing place and people appearance. Okay. And next, in the chapter 14, it talks about telling a story, like narrative techniques, handling dialogue, and controlling a narrative. Because this chapter will talking about how to make students able to tell their friends a narrative story. Okay. Or this chapter will talking about how students to write something in narrative ways. Okay. In chapter 15, in the last chapter, it talks about dealing with moods and feelings. Okay, maybe your anger, sadness, indifference, and saying goodbye. You should know about this one, because this one is one of the important thing when you want to express your feeling. This chapter will talking about how students will deal with people who are angry or sad, and to say goodbye in many different ways. Okay, I will give you a review from my thoughts. Okay, actually the book is organized pretty nicely, and the author make it per step from the beginning until the last part about how to start an English class for the new teacher. The step also very helpful because the author make the example in every step, which make the teacher easy to follow this book and understand it as well. I think this book is suitable for teacher and university students of educational scientists, because this book really helpful for the new teacher to make the English class organized well. Not only for English class actually, but another language class as well, because this book tell you what you should do to make the class alive and the students able to feel the pleasure of English subject. And what I like the best from this book is the example the author create. because this book, because he gives the example in each step, which make us understand what is this step about. The language is easy to understand, I think, so the teacher won't waste their time but by opening the dictionary or Google Translate. They can guess the words they don't know, since the example will make the teacher understand what is this step mean. And what I like least from this book is the explanation is very few. I think the example indeed very helpful to make the teacher and the university students it well. But at least the author should add more explanation. By adding more explanation, the teacher and the university students understand it more completely, not only knowing the steps only. I would like to add kit of example in every step. By adding just set of example in every step, the teacher will understand about this technique and will think if this technique can be used in their class or not. On scale 1 to 10, I will give this book, because this book very benefits to me, I will give it 9 point. Yeah, because I like this book. Okay, thank you so much. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching my video. See you again for the another video. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.